Good afternoon to all participants in the online public hearing organized by the Independent Evaluation Commission for assessing the integrity of candidates for the position of member in the self-administration bodies of judges and prosecutors, pursuant to Law Number 26/2022. I hereby declare this session open. This hearing involves the evaluation of Mr. Mihail Sorbala, candidate for the Superior Council of Prosecutors, Associate Professor and Head of Department at the Free International University of Moldova. I would like to welcome you, Mr. Sorbala. We are here to conduct an online public hearing in the context of the evaluation process aimed at assessing the candidates for the position of the Superior Council of Prosecutors. The Commission is acting in accordance with Law Number 26/2022 and its rules of procedure. On the screen in front of you, you have the 5 members of the Commission, and I will introduce to you Victoria Henley, Nadezhda Lipchevsky, Tatiana Raducanu, Nona Tsotoria, and myself, Herman van Hebel, the Chair of the Commission. The Commission is also assisted by members of the Secretariat, and the online public hearing can also be followed by representatives of the media and the public. During the hearing, interpretation between Romanian and English will be provided. And to allow for accurate interpretation, I would kindly ask you to speak clearly and slowly. Furthermore, the proceedings are being recorded and the public parts will be available online, generally within 24 hours after the hearing via the website of the Commission, www.vetting.md. During the hearing, one or more members of the Commission will put questions to you, and I would ask you to answer them truthfully and completely. Your explanations are important to the Commission in verifying your financial and ethical integrity. At the end of the hearing, you will be given the opportunity to make a brief closing statement. In formulating our questions, we will take into account your privacy and, where required and possible, the privacy of your family members and close persons. So we will leave out unnecessary details relating to, for example, ID numbers, bank account numbers, addresses of real estate, and the like. For the protection of your own privacy, we ask you to do the same. I will start with a brief overview of the procedural background of this evaluation. On 13 September 2023, the Commission sent you a request for submission of the 5-year declaration of assets and personal interests. On 20 September 2023, you submitted your 5-year declaration. The Commission also asked candidates to voluntarily complete and submit an ethics questionnaire. You did so on 20 September 2023. The Commission sent you 6 rounds of questions on 16 October, 1 November, 14 November, 29 November, 7 December, and 15 December, respectively. You were asked a total number of 29 questions, including 35 subparts, and 25 of the questions included a request for further documentation. According to Article 17, Paragraph 4 of the Rules of Procedure of the Commission, a candidate may not provide information, documents, or other materials during the hearing if the Commission requested this earlier and the candidate did not provide them within the time specified, unless, of course, the candidate provides sufficient justification for not providing the information as requested. Members of the Commission will now start with asking you questions, and Ms. Nadezhda Lipchevsky will start with asking questions. We will try to keep your questions short and to the point, and we ask that your answers be short and to the point as well. Nadezhda, please proceed.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Bună ziua, domnul Sorbala.
Greetings, Mr. Sorbala. Now, the issue that we will address in this hearing today has to do with the source of funds and the procurement of an apartment in Chișinău. I guess you were provided the material, this information a few minutes before the hearing. I will first read out the issue and then I will ask you some questions. So according to the e-cadastral information, on the 18th of July this year, you and your wife registered a 42 square meters apartment. I will refer to it as the apartment from now on. And that was purchased on the basis of a sale and purchase agreement of the 17th of July this year. You provided a copy of the sales and purchase agreement, and there are paragraphs 3.1 and 3.2. And what is said there is that the total price of the contract is the amount of 410,000 lei. And it also says that the price is established by the parties by mutual agreement and that it started to be paid on the 13th of October 2017 before the signing of the contract in full in cash in Moldovan lei to sellers. In the written communication with the Commission, you were asked to provide some details about the amount and the date of each payment you were making in order to ultimately pay the entire price that was due. You were also asked about your relationship with the sellers of the apartment, and you were also asked why did you start paying for the apartment on the 13th of October 2017 instead of paying for that after the contract would have been concluded. Your answer was that you paid the first installment in the amount of 190,000 lei to the citizen of which we use the initials of the name only, II, that is the seller, on the 13th of October 2017, and the remaining amount was to be paid in equal installments, not less than 3,000 lei a month or 9,000 lei quarterly, until the total amount would be paid. The last payment was made by you on the 15th of July 2023, and you explained that you were not related, you did not have, you were not kins with the sellers of the apartment, but you knew them before you bought the apartment. You also explained that you decided to pay for the apartment starting with the date of 13th of October before you even concluded a contract because you didn't have the entire amount available for the apartment. And that was the most the most proper option for being able to pay the amount. You provided a receipt written by you with the date of 13th of October 2017 and signed off by the seller, who was also the owner of the apartment. And that receipt also states that at the time when the right of use was transferred over, on the 13th of October 2017, that the seller was paid the amount of 190,000 lei. However, it is also stated in that receipt that the owner had the obligation to transfer full ownership rights to you when the full amount of the apartment's value that was referred to above in the receipt is paid. It is also mentioned there that you commit to making uniform or equal payments of at least 3,000 lei a month or 9,000 lei a quarter. You also attached a document that contained a list of dates, amounts, and signatures. There are 25 rows. They seem to reflect payments for the apartment, the first payment being made on the 13th of October 2017 and the last amount on the 15th of July 2023. And this list, same as the receipt, is handwritten. As regards the sources of funds to make the payments for the apartment, you explained that you used 100,000 lei that your wife had received as a donation from her parents before she got married to you, and that she kept in a bank for a while, but that she cashed it out in 2015 because of some rumors around a potential bankruptcy of banks. You also stated, you put down that 120,000 lei you received in relation to your marriage, and you kept that amount in cash. You explained that you kept both amounts, totaling 220,000 lei in cash, having the intention to purchase real estate. You also mentioned that the first installment of 190,000 lei that you paid for the apartment on the 13th of October 2017
a provenit anume din aceste
was
economii.
specifically paid using
Ați
those
mai plătit
savings.
următoarele două tranșe.
You paid 2 additional installments.
Scuze. Deci ați plătit
You paid 2
următoarele două
additional
tranșe cu
installments
20.000 total,
totaling
tot din aceste
20,000 lei
economii
from these
și
same
v-au mai rămas
savings, and
10.000 de lei pe care i-ați utilizat
you
pentru
were
nevoile
left
curente în
10,000
octombrie 2017.
lei that you used
Restul
for
sumei pentru
current
achiziționarea
needs in October
apartamentului
2017.
a fost
The rest
plătit
of the
în tranșe
amount
pe parcursul
for the
anilor
apartment was paid in installments
2018-2023
throughout
pe salariile
2018-2023
dumneavoastră și ale
from your
soției,
and your wife's
precum și dintr-un
salaries
împrumut
and from a
contractat în
loan
2018.
that you took out in 2018.
De asemenea, dumneavoastră ați
You
afirmat că
also
ați locuit împreună cu
stated
soția
that
dumneavoastră
you and your
în
wife
apartamentul părinților
lived
soției între
in
2013 și
your
2017 și
parents-in-law's
din acest
apartment
motiv
between
cheltuielile de trai pe această
2013-2017,
perioadă
and
au
therefore
fost
the living
modeste.
expenses in that period of time were
Acum voi încep
modest.
cu câteva întrebări la care vă
Now
rugăm să
I will
răspundeți
ask a few
cât mai
questions and would
scurt
like to ask
cu
you
da și
to
nu și
answer
cu siguranță
as shortly as possible with yes or no, and
avea ocazia
you
să
will certainly
completați
be given
punctul
the
ce
opportunity
considerați
to
necesar.
make some additions
Mai întâi vă
later on
rugăm să
as you
identificați
believe it
sau să
necessary.
clarificați data la care dumneavoastră v-ați
First,
mutat
please
propriu-zis în acest
state
apartament.
what is the date on which you moved
De mult
into
start,
that
mai întâi
apartment.
de toate, mulțumesc pentru o întrebare.
Well, first of all, thank you for
Data
the
când noi ne-am
question.
mutat în
As for the
apartament, a
date
fost
when we
prima
moved
dată când a
in
fost
was,
transmisă
well,
și
the
suma
first
de
time when
190.000
the
de lei
amount of
și este vorba despre
190,000
data
lei
de
was
13
transferred, and that is the
octombrie
date of 13th of
2017.
October 2017.
Și puteți confirma
And can you confirm that between 2013, that is after you got married, and until 2017, including that year until the 13th of October, you lived
socrelor?
Da, cu
with your
siguranță,
parents-in-law?
așa este. Pot
Yes, that is
comunica
correct.
că
Certainly,
de la
I can
momentul
communicate
înregistrării
that
căsătoriei
from the
până
moment
la
that
momentul
our marriage was
desfășurării nunții
registered and
propriu-zise,
until
înregistrarea
the wedding
căsătoriei
ceremony
a fost
took
în data de
place. So
28
we registered our
august
marriage on the 28th of
2013, dar din
August
cauza
2013.
decesului
But
bunelui
because
soției mele, nunta a
the
fost amânată,
grandfather of my
conform
wife,
tradițiilor,
we
după
had
cum
to
se
postpone the
desfășoară
wedding
la un an de
ceremony,
zile și
and
nunta
according
s-a
to the
desfășurat la
tradition, we
data
have
de
to do that 1
18
year
iulie
later. So our
2014.
wedding ceremony was on the 18th of July 2014.
Vă rugăm să explicați care a fost relația
Can you
pe care
explain
ați avut-o
what
cu
was
proprietarii
the
apartamentului?
relationship that you
Înțelegem
had
că
with the
nu ați avut
owners of the
relații,
apartment?
nu
It is our
sunteți rude,
understanding
să
that
zicem
you were
așa,
not
dar vă
related
cunoșteați,
as not
ați
your
menționat în
relatives,
răspunsul
but
scris,
you
dar
said in
puteți
your
explica un
written
pic.
Da, după,
answers that you
mulțumesc
knew that
de
person.
întrebare, după cum
Thank you for the
am
question.
reiterat și am relefat în
As
cadrul
I
rundelor de întrebări,
emphasized during
nemijlocit,
the
adică
Q&A
cu
sessions,
persoanele
as regards
foștii
the
proprietari a apartamentului,
former
deși la ziua de
owners
astăzi
of the
deja eu
apartment. Now
proprietar,
I'm the
conform
owner, but
înregistrărilor de la
according
SCP,
to
ne
all the
cunoaștem
records at
datorită
the
faptului că soția mea este originală,
Public Services Agency.
originară,
So we
corect spus,
knew the
din
former
orașul
owners
Orhei,
because my
și
wife,
doamna
she hails from Orhei, from the town
soția
of Orhei,
proprietarului, de
and the
asemenea,
wife
este
of the
originară de Orhei.
former
Și evident
owner
că ne
was
cunoaștem
also born in
ceva
Orhei.
timp mai înainte.
So
Și
that's
vindu-se
how
această
we knew each other
oportunitate,
for
de
a
aceea
while
și-am mers
before.
la acest
And
pas.
since this opportunity emerged, we
Vă rugăm să
decided
confirmați că
decided
ați
to
început
seize
să
it.
achitați
Well,
apartamentul
can
în
you confirm that you started
2017,
paying for the
prima
apartment in
tranșă de
2017, and the
190.000
first
pentru
installment was
apartament la 13 octombrie
190,000
2017.
lay
Cu
on the
siguranță,
13th of
așa
October,
este. Prima tranșă a fost la
17th of
data de
October, 30th of
13
October
octombrie
2017. That is correct. 13th of October
2017.
2017.
A
That
doua
was the
tranșă
first
a
installment
fost
that will be
la
paid.
data
The
de
second one
30
on the
octombrie
30th of
2017
October
și a treia
2017,
tranșă,
and the third
care tot de
installment
asemenea era 10.000
that
de
was
lei, a fost la data de
10,000 lei
27
on
decembrie
27
2017.
December
Apoi,
2017.
celelalte
And
tranșe
then
a
all the
urmat
other
conform recipiții, dar am
installments were
ales cea mai
paid as per
oportună
the receipt,
modalitate
but we
pentru a nu
decided to go
avea
for the most
întâlniri
convenient
enumerate în fiecare lună
approach so as
pentru
not to have to
achitarea a
meet
3.000 de
every
lei. Am
month
ales,
to pay
adică
3,000
semestrial,
lei.
să
We
achităm
decided to
câte
pay on a
9.000 de
quarterly
lei.
basis,
Ați achitat
9,000 lei on a quarterly
prima
basis, that is.
tranșă și,
So the
în
first
numerar sau prin
installment,
transfer
did you pay it
bancar?
in cash
În
or
numerar,
by
în
wire
numerar.
transfer? In
Și
cash.
toate le-ați achitat în
And
numerar.
all the
Toate,
payments were made in
Toate în numerar.
cash.
Da, tot în
Yes,
numerar
all
a
the
fost.
installments were paid in
Deoarece
cash.
pot mai
because I can further add to the explanation that having talked to the previous owners of the apartment, there were two legal ways that we could choose from, and specifically, one was the one that we opted for, and the second was by registering interdictions with the cadastre back then. So that is, the apartment was supposed to be recorded on my name, and there were some interdictions or restrictions that were supposed to be implemented. However, the former owners decided not to choose the second way, and they did not want to go that way to install or to implement some interdictions for that apartment. Well, actually, you've anticipated my next question. I wanted to ask, why did you decide to start making those payments for the apartment in advance, even before having a contract in place? Well, certainly, I would like to say with all certainty that on the basis of, well, following some discussions with my wife, we did have some fears about making some payments, but not knowing for what, so to speak. But we assumed, we took this risk, we decided to take this risk, and this possibility, this option from the two, this is the option that the former owners settled on. We made some of our calculations on our own. We were thinking about taking out a loan, but for this, we were supposed to also have some additional huge costs, and it would have turned out as if I was buying the apartment for double or triple the price. The amount ended up being quite big, or would have been quite big. I made some calculations, and knowing how much I was able to afford, and the wife too, given that we also had an infant. But as any young couple, when they form a family, they want to have their own place to stay. Considering that you are a lawyer and you are qualified, you have a PhD, and still, since you had some fears, as you said, what is the legal power of a receipt that is signed on the 13th of October? And specifically, the receipt does speak about the agreement and the right to use and the obligation of the owner to transfer over the ownership right. But what if the owner refused to transfer the rights to you, the ownership rights? How would you have found the solution to that situation? Good question. I would have looked into the legal ways to take this case to justice, but at the end of the day, I think it is a risk that we decided to take. I was not afraid, but still, my greatest fears are the fears from and in front of God. But other than that, it's only taking risks. Thank you for these answers. Well, now, in your answers about the source of funds, you explained quite clearly the 210,000 lei that originated from the gift or the donation to your wife before the marriage, and that stayed in the bank for a while, and then what you collected at the wedding. Can you confirm that 100,000 lei that were donated to your wife, can you confirm that this amount was kept in the bank for a while? Yes, certainly that was the case. And she withdrew that amount in 2015, as we can see from the records. Yes, I can support that. I would rather say that my wife would deal with these details. It's only that I am aware about it. I mean, we are a family and we were talking out certain things. And you answered that you were keeping this amount in cash, the 100,000 lei, that is, you were keeping that in cash. Yes, she received that amount in 2013 on the date of the 4th of April. And she deposited that with Procreated Bank, and then she cashed that amount out, and then she deposited with Unibank. You don't necessarily have to name the banks. Well, I don't mind. I just want to say everything the way it happened. So she cashed it out and she kept it in cash. Is that correct? Yes, we kept it like that, 100,000 and 120,000 then that were collected at the wedding ceremony that we held on the 18th of July 2014. And you had no fears and concerns about keeping such an amount in cash? Weren't you thinking about putting it in an account, in a bank account? Well, we gave it some thought, but as things were happening at that time, time and the rumors in the society, we were more scared of that than scared of keeping it at home. And that amount you didn't spend. I mean, all the expenses that you had at the wedding and the money that your wife withdrew, you kept that all in cash until you purchased the apartment? Yes, because we had a clear goal in our mind, and that was to buy real estate, something that belonged to us. Understood. Mr. Sorbala, now I don't have other questions. We checked the market value of the apartment. So 218,000, that is the cadastral, 1,000, that is the cadastral price. So we would try to be very precise and to follow the letter of the law, and that's because, of course, we wanted to avoid situations where questions would be asked about such transaction. That is something that I wanted to clarify at the end, and to set out that the price coincides. Maybe there's just a minor variation, but we checked this, and that's why we had no questions with regards to the price. If there are any other details that you would like to share with us regarding the price or regarding anything else that you felt that we didn't look into, then you are free to do that, but it's also not mandatory for you to do that. Well, I think that during the Q&A sessions, there were 6 of them, 6 rounds. I think I was clear enough. I did my best to be as clear as I could, but at the end, I would like to only take the floor for a few remarks, if that is possible. No, wait a minute. First, before that, we will give the floor to the chair of the commission, and then you will be given the floor.
Unless other members have questions.
Are there any questions from any of the other members? Doesn't seem to be the case. Then this is indeed the right moment, Mr. Sorbala, for you to make a brief closing statement to the commission. So please go ahead.
I would like to thank all the members of the commission, and you too, Honorable Chair of the Commission, the Secretariat, and all the empowered bodies and my family as well. I would like to extend my gratitude to all those who responded to my queries in due time and who submitted the necessary documentation for me to submit that to you. So thank you very much. I wish you the best of health. And now at the end of the year, it's also the winter holidays are approaching. So I wish you to enjoy great winter holidays, and I wish you all the best. Thank you.
Thank you very much. With this, we come to the end of the hearing. I thank you for being with us this afternoon and giving answers to the questions that we had for you. The Commission will now withdraw for deliberations, and as much as possible, we will strive at delivering a decision within a month after the date of this hearing. And let me also take the opportunity on behalf of the Commission to wish you also a very pleasant end of year and beginning and good start of the new year. And hereby I can declare this session closed. Thank you very much for being with us this afternoon.